Namaste. I am Aashish Kumar Chaudhary from Nepal. I would like to thank CIRDAP-NIRD, Government of India, Ministry of Rural Development, Secretary of my ministry, Government of Nepal, who gave me chance to learn relevant, highly relevant technology to use in my country. In short, I will go to what are the learnings that I get in this training session, and what will be my back home plan to delivery in my country. I have categorized this plan in 3 categories, and first will be like immediately, that could be done, and it's low effort kind of thing. Second would be the medium effort, but that will give you the high visibility for the utilization of this. And third will be the high effort and high visibility. The part has been divided in firstly, I will report to my secretary, and then there will be some things like capacity building that I got learning from here to disseminate in my country to the local governments, and the highly relevant, also the highly effortful is like to collaborating and connecting our academic institutions to these relevant centers, or you call it ISRO and NRSC. The first immediately phase will be week 1 or 3. That could take me to report to the secretary. You can say that why it's 2 weeks. Because the deliverable will be like one 2-page policy brief, so that I can recommend it to the secretary. And side by side there will be a 10-slide presentation. And the presentation could be highlighted like I will just say you 2-3 points. And that's the Geo-Informatics. Usually in Nepal, there are still mostly the vector-based maps, and we are not leveraging this into the real-time satellite imagery. So the possibility can be addressed, and you can just find it that way. So, and how we can just get leverage into the real-time satellite imagery, that can be said it like that, using the freely available bilateral accessibility, which can be taken from the ISRO, NRSC, or other centers or institutions like INCOIS and ICRISAT that we visited there. And what could be the use of these satellite imagery? That could also be the main point to look at. The sectors that can be infrastructure asset monitoring, that would be directly relevant and easy to do as the valuation of those things. The second would be the disaster forecasting and early warning system. And third could be the crop mapping and crop health monitoring. And another could be the land use. There could be the water resources, forestry, and most important, last but not the least, could be the climate change effect in the higher mountain regions. And for that reason, we cannot start all of them. So I have just think of that we will highlight the satellite-based monitoring for the rural infrastructure, and that can be done by our ministry because we are the focal point of this. And the second could be the flood forecasting. We cannot do for the every kind of disasters, so the better to start it from the flood forecasting, and that could make us give the decision making at the point of the at the time of monsoon season. And you can see now the monsoon season is also running, so that could be done from the Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Home Affairs. And the third could be the starting of to give support to the farmers. That could be the seasonal crop mapping and crop health monitoring. It could be sustainable and can be go forward in the future. And this could be done by the Department of Agriculture. These can be explained and sensitized to as a reporting kind of thing to the secretary. The second I'm thinking about is that it could be the capacity building. At least I could just capacity building to the local governments, because being as a focal point of in the ministry. So you can see that CIRDAP has also focal point centers in Nepal is the Local Development Training Academy, LDTA, And so that it would be easier for us to just give a simple module or maybe the training sessions through LETA workshop. The deliverable will be like a training module with the help of CIRDAP, and they could just give us an easy way to get the resources, and which can directly resonate to the Nepali context. We do not need to have to just explain the whole scenario at the context of Nepal, in India or other nations, because it would be better to just using the Nepali context. And but we need to showcase some things that the showcase will be more relevant. Connected with the NIRDPR, the institutions in itself, and the ECRIS Act that we saw it there, some of the things. And the most important, we can give them the showcasing Bhuvan portal, also invoice what they are been just doing. And the time period will be like mostly April to mid-July. It would be better to have to make the training module, and then the dissemination will be after the financial closing year part, that will be in our country, that will be after the mid-July. To September, if there could be the plan to deliver the workshop. And the highlights in the workshop could be like the Manrega project, so that how we can just geotagging. It would be easier for us to showcase them for easily. And then another would be that we can just get the free open data from the many portals, and we can just explore it so that way. And the thought will be to let them know that there is no need to develop satellites by Nepali, because we have our neighboring country, and we can access them using the platform from the Ministry or Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This will be the second phase. The third point is a little bit high effort, but this will give a good impact, high impact. And that would be the sensitizing and platform design for the Tribhuvan University, which is in our country as the core central and the older kind of university. And there are also some kind of centers, a center for water resources, center for disaster management. So we can just try to breeze it with the academia, and it would be easier to let our country to get in that height to understand these concepts before getting into the government. And so the delivery will be like a concept and a proposal note to the government of Nepal. And meanwhile, we can go to the letter of intent to the NRSC through the government of India, by the government of Nepal, and obviously we would like to get help through the CIRDAP, as it is the international platform, so it will be easier for us. And after the sensitization, while sensitizing these things, in the concept note, we will just try to add some portions how can this be developed, for example, MOUs can be done by the two governments on the use of satellite data and its practical use through the research program, or maybe the student fellowship could be the starting point. And obviously, I could not just make it like a promise, because it's a difficult work to do, because there will be the involvement of bilateral connections. So it could take more than 6 months, maybe a year or two, but I will try to make it whether if it could be done in a good timeline, then it would be better for us to proud of these things. This is my 3-phase plan. Thank you.